Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading. People keep asking me what this the cards I'm using are. So I'm going to give you a little bit of these ones here are the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. So they're the ones that you see like this. And if it was this one you were asking about, this is the Thelema Tarot. This is one of my favourites. And it has quite dark pictures on it, but they're not always consistent with, like they're not as explanatory as some of the other decks, so people sometimes find them a little harder to read. So we'll start off with the Modern Spellcasters Tarot for your What's Cracking. Now firstly, before I go any further, I want to say a huge thank you. There's been huge support for my competition on my Facebook page. So I'll probably draw that next week. I think I said about mid-March. So if you're interested in joining that competition for a half an hour free reading, please go over to my page at the Aussie Goddess. Four of Pentacles hopping out here. Somebody's trying to let go of something that they're hanging on to. Trying to release something, but not really perhaps understanding what they need to release, but knowing they need to release something. Which seems to be a sort of feel that's going on at the moment, where people are understanding they need to let go of things, but having to work through what that means for each and every one of you. Okay, sometimes it's just ideas. Sometimes it's just concepts and things that you've got in your head, you know, that Spirit is trying to sort of make you aware of, that they don't serve you anymore. Like you might have very old-fashioned patriarchal ideas about things. You may be stuck in a certain way of thinking, but I think that's coming to, with the next few full moons, probably going to clear a lot of that energy. Alrighty. Oh, that was a bit awkward. Okay. Usually they give me a clear cut and they did it again. Okay, interesting. Did you like that? Rightio. Okay, so we have the Hermit card coming out here. So this sort of sits with that whole idea of taking time out to sort of let go of things. The Hermit is a card of deep healing. It's certainly a card of going inside to understand, you know, what's happening, how you're, you know, working with things, the sort of energies that are around you here. But there is a definite feeling that you are being called to go inside and study yourself. Okay, so I have the Page of Cups coming up here. I was about to say the Three of Cups in. That's quite interesting because there are three people on this card. This is the Page of Cups. Someone's putting consideration into some sort of offer they're being given. Yeah, somebody's making an offer here. Something that's tangible. Could be an offer of work. Could be an offer of a relationship, something stable. But whoever this is, you're really not either considering it. You're paying very close attention to it here. You may be not considering it because it's coming from a page, which means, yeah, with this Ten of Wands, there is a better offer here if you hang out for it. So if someone's trying to make you an offer, yeah, with the Strength card, this is what the universe is saying. Use your own strengths here to make this decision. Is it really what you want? Is it really something that you want to take on? Or do you hold out for something better? And with the Ten of Wands and the Strength card here, I would say the universe is saying to you, don't take anything you don't want to take until you're offered this. So the Ace of Wands is a card, of course, that talks about a brand new beginning. This is very passionate, of course, because it is a wand and the wands represent passion. So this is a very passionate new start being offered. But somebody may come in with something a little bit tentative to start with. You may get sort of like a bit of a brush past it, but not a real invitation. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I feel like this is, you know, you waiting for a new offer here. It's like something's been offered to you. It could be a job's been offered to you and they may have not offered you enough money, for example. So you're sort of standing here with your sword in the ground, ready to make a decision on one way or the other, but waiting for a better decision to come your way. Okay, and then we have the Page of Swords. We had 3 swords coming out in this reading. So there could be a little bit of wheeling and dealing here in terms of some sort of compromise or some sort of conclusion here. So sometimes when this sort of happens and this energy happens, it could be 2 people going backwards and forwards on something that they either want to move forward and neither one of them can make a decision on which way to, well, it's like you both can't come to some sort of agreement which way to go. But the process is really good here because it's like you're going through a lot of the pros and cons of what could and couldn't happen. So it's sort of like good because it feels like you're communicating well, you're sharing and trying to come to some sort of agreement on how to move forward. Perhaps for some of you, you know, this sort of could be around a relationship. Perhaps, you know, you're wanting something a bit more committed. The other person's sort of maybe not really wanting a commitment, but still wants to date you. And then you're going back and saying, well, I don't want to date if we don't have a direction. And it seems to be that sort of going backwards and forwards. In terms of a job or even a legal situation, there seems to be a lot of going backwards and forwards here to try and make this decision on what's best. Okay. So the 10 of Swords is coming out here. So you may have someone who backs out of this deal, who doesn't compromise, who cannot see how to move forward here. But what I want to say to you, this is really good. You may have to walk away before you actually get what you want. This person wants what you've got to offer without any doubt whatsoever, because this Ace of Wands is here. So they want this offer, whatever it is. Whatever this is you're going backwards and forwards on, this other party wants it. But they're getting a bit proud here. And it's like they are not accepting your way because that means they've got to back down and take a compromise. So keep going with it. Don't back off. Okay, so we have the 5 of Cups. I feel like here, yeah, okay, Death card. Someone's going to have to really go back and see what it is they want. Okay, all right, so I'm right. Somebody wants to work on this with you. Whatever this is, somebody wants an outcome. But you're dealing with someone who has too much ego or too much pride to understand what a benefit or what a huge outcome this will be. So whatever way this is, whether this is you or the other person, both of you want to work on something. Both are trying to get some sort of situation to transform so you can both get a good outcome here. But at the moment there seems to be a lack of compromise. So in order to get this going, the universe is sort of saying, well, it needs to die and transform. And that is a sad thing because you may be disappointed walking away thinking the other person didn't care or didn't make you the offer you wanted. But actually they will. They will come back with an offer. It's just at the moment there doesn't seem to be a compromise. Somebody is too emotional here. Someone is too emotionally enslaved is what Spirit is saying. So you have to let go of this emotion and do this from a much more logical, ordered perspective. This is time to get into your logical brain. Some sort of transformation needs to occur for it to move forward. Someone's stuck in their ego here, but there is an ending to this ego here. So moving forward, 3 of Cups. Some of you could be dealing with some sort of third-party situation. 4 of Pentacles, which was what jumped out on me in the beginning. Somebody refusing to let go of something. And then we have the Karma card. I might just read through the mini read first and then we'll come back to that. I have somebody looking deep inside about something they've been offered. The thing is with this offer, it's not really presenting, and again, it has to stop, because what is being presented or offered here is not sufficient. It's not right. The universe is saying step back into your own power here and wait for what you want, because somebody is holding back or not willing to offer you what you want, basically. But this is their lesson as much as it is yours. And I feel like you may be a little bit more emotional over this, and you need to sort of keep your emotions in check. And they may be playing the game with you. So they may be being very resistant because you're emotional. Whatever this is, it's going backwards and forwards for a reason. It's going backwards and forwards because the person that wants what you've got is not going to give up. They are going to see this through. But they've backed off and called your bluff here. And the reason they've done that is because they are not getting what they want. And the idea here is that you learn to compromise. You learn to both come to the party. You've got someone who's acting seriously out of ego who needs to let that go. There is some sort of karmic or some sort of justice to this situation. So if it is a legal situation we're talking about here, if it is some offer going backwards and forwards and being tabled that isn't sufficient, you need to stand your ground here. This Four of Pentacles says to me that you need to stand with it. You need to hold on this one. Just let your emotions go. Don't let it affect you emotionally. Just allow the universe to bring you what you want here. There has to be a transformation in order for both parties to get what they want from this situation. As I said, for some of you here, you could be dealing with a relationship where there are two people or three people involved, and you're trying to compromise with someone. Your person may be, for example, married, and you may be asking them to give the marriage away to be with you and getting very emotional about it. They're refusing to do that, that sort of feeling. If it's something to do with a court case or an offer here of some sort of contract for work, it's almost like you're going backwards and forwards because the other person wants certain conditions. You want, a better, maybe you want more autonomy or more say in this, and you're not being allowed to have that, or it's not being considered as part of the deal. What is happening here, whatever it is, the universe is saying to you, stand your ground, be less emotional, go in with a very open-minded attitude. The other person needs to drop their ego to understand what your value is, and that is what you're doing here. You're standing your ground to see someone else see your value. Just if you're doing it in a very emotional way or in a very, in a very unreasonable way, then just rest assured this person, they want what you've got to offer. That's all you need to know. Being emotional or being controlling or trying to make things go in your direction by using manipulation is not going to work here. Because this person wants what you've got. Just keep that in mind. There has to be a resolution though, because you're both meant to be working on this. This is meant to be. So it's not a stalemate or anything. There's definitely going to be a result. But, okay, this is really interesting. This is why I say what's your value. Because the card of love, who you are, has come out. And it says you are divine, delightful, and deserving of the wonderful things life has to offer. So you don't have to fight for this. This person wants what you've got to offer. They do. They know what your value is. Just their ego is trying to push you into this emotional state or into this frustration or into this upset. And by that, they feel that they're more powerful and they're going to win out over you. You don't have to do that. Just rest assured, be calm, objective, be the observer. Have a great day.